The biggest thing that came in COVID time was when this professor shocked the whole world. I've been teaching for 35 years and none of this Westerner ever took or did any of this, which this Indian boy did it. And he felt, I'm proud of India. How many of us, when we passed 10th standard, 12th standard, 15th, or even got degrees, went and thanks our teacher, took their blessing, our parents, the culture is going out of our own hand. Now what I said was a scientific point of view of a foot, and you'll realize how it gets important with yoga over time. I'm a consultant at our own institute, that's Amit Jain Institute in Brindavan Area Hospital. Many of you all must have seen or not seen what I'm going to present now, something distinct which I've been presenting abroad. And what I'm going to present is an excerpt of Amit Jain show, one of the first Podollywood of diabetic foot in the medical literature. So you'll get an idea of what. But whoever has heard this, the title, must have got an opinion, okay, what is this? I love you or I hate you. But yes, in audience, you will also have somebody who will say, whatever is it, I like the title. Okay, and I'll be like smiling. You need to be different in life because it's a Podollywood. You'll understand what is Podollywood, and we have to do something different. Kuch to alag karna padega. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The whole activity is under Amit Jain Project and Charitable Trust that we are running in Brindavan Area Hospital. So, this is one of the prequel presentation, and this is how I introduce myself. Hello. Everything is available on Google. Whatever I'm talking is a system of modern diabetic foot surgery, and whole audience will understand why we are talking this today in this forum. So when I had first announced this, okay, what is this I love you in one of our series, you wouldn't believe, when I was a professor of surgery in the college, you know how students are. Students are definitely naughty. So whenever I used to go in the lift, everybody was like, sir, what is this I love you? They thought, you know, the craze of that time, you will be loving her. I was like, no. They would think, sir, you must be loving how to read or teach the students. I do read, but the girls, whoever were my students, was like, sir, I think you love gold. You got it? I was like, no. No. They were shocked. They kept guessing during COVID time, who is this that Professor Amit Jain is loving? And how come he has announced this on Instagram and Facebook, being a professor of surgery in the past? Many thought he must be still loving his ex in 1993. So they started looking at the X factor of it. I said, no, I'm getting old. So many of them thought, all of us have seen this movie and we know who she is. So they said, Amit sir must be loving Olivia or Jennifer of Triple R. I was like, I like her, but this is not what I love. Problem comes is when the HOD of the department and the principal calls you. We have seen on Instagram and you say, I love you, being a professor of surgery. What do you mean you love? I said, sir, I love foot. I'm a foot surgeon and I love foot. The reaction of all the professors and the students was this what I was doing for last 3 months? And I was like, yes. The question came, why? In COVID time, how many of you all have seen this in Instagram? From scientific point of view, this became a very, very big thing because if you look at every other doctor or every of a public, they give importance to heart, brain. But what got released on COVID time is the world's most miraculous structure is not in heart or brain, but it is foot. Now this was a shocking statement what people got worried and got to know why. The answer was the scientists who are there knows about the function of the heart, brain. They know about liver and all. But they never understood the foot. The bones of the foot are hardly 2 grams, 5 grams, 10 grams, less than 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 150 kg, 200 kg person walking. How come the foot bones are not breaking? You know coconut, El Niro. You take, I'll hit 10 times here. At least by 11th, 15th or 20th time, it will break. But you jump 25, 30, 40 times, it does not break and the size is one good. So they understood why. The scientists have no answer. They further realized 100 kg, 70 kg, 65 kgs, less than 10 grams of the foot bones. How is it supporting the body weight? How is it providing a balance to a human? We are the only bipedal. Bipedal means the one who is walking on the 2 legs regularly. Few of the animals walk once and twice, but everybody walks on 4 limbs. How come human is walking bipedally? Provides a balance and they're absorbing the shock. we do these activities every day. You can understand we never give importance to this structure. Now, did you know the scientists started looking and they came back to Indian culture, Indian literature. We are the only people in the world where the foot was given importance much more than any other organ historically in all our Vedas. Open Ramayana. You'll get shocked to know about. So the Western people are looking in the Indian literature and they were shocked. India is the only culture in the past, I will not say present, only few of us are following. We were taking the blessings from our elderly, our gurus. How many of you all have taken the blessings? We do not even touch the feet of our gurus' parents anymore. Even historically, if you have seen, foot was the most important structures given in the value. Even after marriage, if anybody wanted to the house, auspicious was, please keep your foot forward. That was a wonderful culture of Indian people. The Western people are valuing, but you understand our beauty. We are losing our own values. The biggest thing that came in COVID time was when this professor shocked the whole world. I've been teaching for 35 years and none of this Westerner ever took or did any of this, which this Indian boy did it. And he felt, I'm proud of India. Everybody was jumping on Instagram, hey, Indians are great, but let us go back. How many of us, when we passed 10th standard, 12th standard, 15th, or even got degrees, went and thanks our teacher, took their blessing, our parents, the culture is going out of our own hand. Now what I said was a scientific point of view of a foot, and you'll realize how it gets important with yoga over time. Did you know foot is the only structure that can create a whirlpool? No hand, no brain, no kidney, whichever, foot. Many of you all are looking suspiciously at me. It's a foot that's created whirlpool. Do you want to challenge Nagarjuna? No. Okay, you don't believe. Foot is the only structure. Without touching the weapons, it can kill a human. Huh? It was foot. It was foot. Go back and see. Am I not able to convince you the importance of foot? Well, even the Thor, the god, of thunder, in your Avengers, got shocked when foot is the only structure that can create earthquake. It is bigger than heart and brain. You won't believe. If I continue, you will finish the importance of the foot the Indian cinemas are giving, including South Indian cinemas. They also know that foot is the most important structure, and I hope I'm able to convince you. But when I announce, okay, Dr. Jain, you're loving the foot. Why? What do you hate? Many people thought I will be hating her when this got released on COVID time. Few people thought when he's copying our Indian actor. And many of them thought it's Anna Gomani when he says, doctors, give me drugs, give me drugs. No, we don't hate any one of these people. But again, the HOD called, I know whom you love. Now tell whom do you hate. I said, ladies and gentlemen, India is considered to be the diabetes capital of the world. And one of the complications of diabetes is diabetic foot. In fact, they believe it's not the heart attack or the brain. The biggest problem India is facing today is a diabetic foot, where they believe that we have the highest number of people who are undergoing amputation. Kannadalli keltivi alla gangrene agide kaal cut ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. This is the biggest issue we are facing in current era, and that's the reason we are here to explain that the importance of foot is there, because half of the people are diabetic after 40. Okay, they've found out the data. So how dangerous this condition can be. Many of the time I go to colleges and teach youngsters, they say, how is it related? You will be taking care of your parents and grandparents. If you do not focus now, everybody will be affected with this. How come the world's top 3 journals which are there, when it gave a headline in 2005, every 30 seconds a limb is lost somewhere in the world, it was a sensation. When COVID came and one sentence came, don't touch, wear mask. Everybody in the world was not even touching their own parents, kids and all. We were wearing masks. Why? The data came into the picture. So after that, what happened? COVID started going down in 2-3 years. We have improved our hygienes. We have improved everything. But when this came in 2005, the entire America and USA thought the amputation is going to come down. But they got shocked. What was the shocking news? They found out that instead of decreasing, it started increasing. How is it possible? Everybody was shocked, including all the scientists, all the doctors. It should have come down. Why is it increasing? we understood and realized why it was increasing. And this is one of our publications as a professor, where I said why we hate diabetic food. Multiple reasons are there. We have divided into 6 reasons for Indian subcontinent. Why we hate diabetic? The biggest problem of diabetic foot is diabetes itself. All of us know that if you don't have diabetes, you will never get diabetic foot. So we should actually focus on the diabetes problem itself. Why? It affects every organ from head to foot. So this is like earlier days, it was tuberculosis. Before tuberculosis, it was leprosy. Code was the disease which we are using, then TB Kyle was the word. Now diabetes has become the biggest problem. It affects your health, it affects your family, it affects your finance. Once you talk finance, most of the Asians get worried. Because we are middle class countries, and if you end up spending on the health so much, how will you sustain on a long term? And that was a problem where they said that in another 5 years, 36 crore people are likely to have diabetes. The number is actually half, it's much more. If you go in the past, it was seen earlier in people with 50s and 60s and 70s age. But if you see now, diabetes is coming even the youngsters who are in their 20s and 30s. Can you understand the problem we are facing? Most of our populations are youngsters. Why? Numerous habits. All of us have come to the couch. TV, Netflix, everything has become easier. Theaters, you don't just, earlier we were watching movies, waiting in hours. 1 hour, 2 hours we were waiting was exercise for us. Now it's online, so why you have to wait 1 hour? Earlier you were getting up and running everywhere, even when you wanted to go to toilet, you wanted to purchase any food, popcorns and all. Today, doors delivery. And earlier you were taking only 25, 30 rupees popcorn. Now it's a 500, 700 rupees popcorn which we are taking. We are not moving out from our work table. And yes, most of us are involved in this. All are related to sedentary lifestyle and indirectly diabetes. Yes, pollution also affects. Stress, family stress, job stress is another factor. And genetics. We all know that genetics, diabetes runs in the family. So what happens is the next problem, guys. If a person gets diabetes, he will end up in the second problem, which is diabetic foot, wound in the foot. There are numerous ways. What? There can be pus, there can be redness or infection in the whole leg. There is something called necrotizing fasciitis. Kal tinbite, mamsa tinbite is a word which we try to use. That whole tissues are eaten like chicken. In this, you can see in this place, they can have wound. Many times we say ulcer, kal gale. They have no idea why. Yakandre sensation illa, so they keep walking on that. And biggest worry is gangrene, especially the men. If you have a habit of smoking and drinking and uncontrolled diabetes, you have high chances of ending up in these issues. Many more are there, much more beyond that, but I need to cover up the time. But yes, as I said, smoking. Oh, you think sweets. So I didn't eat one sweet, only I went to one marriage and I ate 10 sweets, equivalent to 10 months. You understand? They understand that the food is major culprit when you go to any of the functions. Some of the habits, like dipping the leg in the hot water, you end up burning your feet and you may end up getting gangrene and infections. Some of the instruments which we wear, we use the word ornaments for public, but they come under category of any of the foreign bodies, irritation, and you end up getting injury. And yes, many a times you go to worship place, you leave your footwear, you climb the hot surface, you end up developing burns. That dangerous can this condition be. And many times somebody may stamp off your feet and say, especially in Indian buses, if you go, "Ayyo, sorry," he may say sorry. By the time you go home, fracture, or you would have got already black pus gangrene. Walking barefoot outside house, if you try to remove anything on your own foot, you are inviting problems. And biggest problem is, Indian culturally, running on hot fire. Oh my God, it's highly dangerous, and we recommend do not do any of this, because this is the outcome of our patients. They come in such a stage. Now you understand, if they amputate, you can't do anything in life. No playing badminton, no doing yoga, nothing. You are stuck on the bed. That dangerous, this condition. And if you think artificial limbs, only youngsters can use, seniors cannot use so easily. People say, "Kal katmar badi artificial leg." No, it is youngsters. Seniors can't use it that frequently. So it's that dangerous. All of these patients whom you can see, educated, smart, but somewhere they walked on hot surface. We call them oops movement. All of them develop ulcer and gangrene. And we advise them, please be careful and take care of your feet. Now, another thing that comes is concurrent problems, which is called partners in the crime. Diabetes will not be always alone. You will have all these partners in crime associated with time: hypertension, kidney problem, heart problem, stroke, eye problem. So one of our publications, when we were formerly a teacher, 60% of the patients also develop BP at the same time when you develop diabetes. Unfortunate. So imagine how much money you will be end up spending over time. Recurrent. Appendix idre remove madre vapas baralla. Yes. Many times you do appendix, some gadde remove. But diabetic foot, sir, one belt remove madre problem illa. It is a lifelong problem. Once you end up amputation, kannadale gadide. Once ati sugar gaya bandre, gaya wasi agala sulab. Everybody knows from 50 years. So we should be careful. Like one of our patients, after 5 years of toe amputation, he's come back with multiple ulcers. Yake? Sparsha gottilla. Nadita irtare, football aarta irtare. They'll end up developing this wound. So it's never the ending problem. It'll keep happening. And once happening, tumba sati surgery madbeku, readmissions, resurgeries, cost. Oh my God. One of the studies shows that 33% of your income of your family, you'll end up spending on this condition, and it'll become tough time for people. Subsequent, what is the fifth problem you can get? Processes complication, mortality and death, block, bed sore. What is bed sore? Malkondu, hindgade gaya agodu. It's called pressure sore, sacral sore. So sugar patient bandre, amputation adre, you will end up in this. Why? If you see most of these patients, all of them will be very sick. They cannot get up. When they cannot get up, treating diabetic foot, they'll develop all other problems. Many people say, doctor, exercise marsi, id marsi, yoga, and nothing can be done. They're not well. Another problem, not only back, even at the heel, foot, you'll keep developing other problems. Now, sir, kal cut madmele, if you give artificial leg, problem solver, illa, artificial leg problem start agate. So it's a never-ending problem. Tumba problem idde irate. Many of these people, they come up to us with so many. Now, can you believe we try to advise these people? Either do swimming. You think they can do swimming? No. We advise, okay, try to go to gym. Can they go gym? No. You can't go on treadmill with the artificial leg. Yoga is the only exercise, but that too they cannot get up and do that also, which is the least effort procedure. They are not able to do it. That dangerous is this complication. And last is supplemental problems. You will lose your job, you will lose the money, you will have a psychological issues. Because they say that it is much more costly than cancer. Cancer, if you remove the problem, after a year, if it comes, you will live for 10 years. But every 3 to 6 months, you will get these problems. And that's why they say that if you're a single earner in your family, you're a middle class worker, you may be anything. You may be a bank manager, you can be auto driver, you can be even working in a hospital, anything. But if you're a single earner and you end up, whole family gets affected. Who will pay the school fees? Who will pay the children fees? Who will run the household? The whole family gets affected. That's why when we launched the project, we tried the government to tell that Amit Jain project is not just aimed to teach the people, it is meant for public. Why? Because the whole family can get destroyed. And the Americans and US data already have shown that the economy is getting disturbed and they're spending a lot on healthcare. But in India, you can imagine how much people are spending the money on the treatment. So if 3 months he loses his job and he lies down, you can't do an exercise also. And if you don't do exercise, sugar will go high. If sugar will go high, all other problems will. So it is called a vicious cycle. And such people will start suffering depression. So many times, you understand why did I say that I hate diabetic foot, though I'm one of the 3 experts in the state practicing this. I still hate it because we can't send the patient happy. Tomorrow you do remove a cataract surgery, the cancer, he'll feel very happy. But the same thing cannot come with the foot. That's why we say that we are angry with this disease is becoming prevalent much more than any other condition. People are crying. But one thing, can anything be done to save a foot? The biggest problem in the country, yes. We said that prevention is better than cure. How? This is one of the slides of my colleague. It's by education, awareness, and exercise. And one of the exercise which people are liking, promoting worldwide, that includes the government also, is yoga with all its beneficial. That can be done before you develop these foot complications. Nothing. I'm not big. There are numerous papers where effect of yoga on diabetes, and if they end up diabetic foot, can they do anything? Yes. Many more such papers have come out, and this says that there are some of the benefits of yoga on foot. Much more research needs to be done. And obviously, why? Because there are not many specialists in diabetic foot. So obviously, many of these people are not showing their interest even on yoga. But foreign papers are showing that there are a lot of benefit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what are the types of yoga? Each one of you are experts. You know what they are. But from my point of view, it's a calf raise. How, when, which condition you should do, we try to teach in our expert center. Where not to do, you should not do yoga in this also. Many more are there in future as a part of this project, ladies and gentlemen. We have been running from last 10 years, hundreds of students, teachers, even faculty, surgeons, we keep training. Hope you have learned from this, and I tried simplifying. Yes, after people have seen the Google website, everything, including the newspaper, experts are telling us, well done, Maga, you're taking a cause of disease which nobody has looked at it. Thank you for the entire team of yoga for giving us and bringing awareness to you all to anticipate a disease that can come in the future. Keep in mind how Terminator is there for part 2, 3, 4. I'll also be back there someday if God permits. Thank you.